everyone, and welcome to our distance learning. Last week we talked about the Earth's layers, and so this week we're going to be focusing on our plate tectonics. So with the Earth's layers, we are currently on the crust. That's where we live, and we have the top part of the lithosphere, and that very bottom part of the lithosphere is actually in our second layer, which is the mantle. And the mantle has our asthenosphere, which is where our plates are moving around. I taught you guys the conduction, convection, and radiation. So our little turtle was the convection portion, and that is what allows our plates to move. So we have three types of plate boundaries. Our first type of plate boundary is called convergent, and that is where your plates will collide into each other. And when they collide into each other, they will form mountains and volcanoes, and sometimes those plates, when they collide, it will actually cause one to go under. So let me see. So the older crust will usually slide under the newer crust, and that's called subduction. So subduction is when they collide and the older crust hits the bottom of the newer crust. So colliding is convergent. Convergent is colliding. And a good way to remember that is convergent starts with C and colliding starts with C. Our second type, part 2, of our plate boundaries is going to be divergent. So divergent means to divide. It means to separate. So our plates are actually going to separate and divide from each other, allowing new landmass to come up between those two. So divergent is dividing. They both start with D's. That's another way to remember that one. And the last one that we need to know is transforming. So transforming is when they slide past each other, causing earthquakes. So California is very familiar with transform boundaries because they have very frequent earthquakes. Also, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was in a movie about earthquakes, so I'm just saying. All right, so you have your three types. You have your convergent, you have your divergent, and you have your transforming. To help you guys remember this, there is a song. I did not create this one like I did the Rock Cycle song. This is made by somebody else. I don't know who, but I love teaching it with music. So I'm sure, hopefully, you've not paused this video by now and you're going to listen to it. It's very catchy. It'll stick in your head, and it's to the Addams Family song. Da-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na. Convergent is colliding, divergent is dividing, transforming is sliding. We are plate boundaries. Da-na-na-na, 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 da-na-na-na. I hope this video helped you guys so much, and hopefully it's a little better than reading the textbook or reading our notes, which you should still be doing. So this week we're going to be doing our discussion question. We'll have a flip grid where you guys will create a video, and then you will have your activity. And on Friday we're going to be doing like game days type stuff. So you'll have your quizzes this week, which will help you remember some of the vocabulary. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week virtually.